My name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani. Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for SAT. We have been solving SAT math problems out of this book here, the official SAT study guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 951. Please turn to it, page 951, and today is our lesson number 138. We will begin the grading question in this section. There are 10 of them. There are 10 grading questions, 9 through 18. 9 through 18. There are 10 of them. And since there are 10 of them, which means the first 2 or 3, well, let's keep it simple. Let's keep our life simple. The very first page that you see there, 951, those are easy questions. On the next page, 952 that you see, the 4 of them, they are medium. And the last 4 that you see on page number 953, they are hard. Let's begin. Question number 9, in other words, on a scale of 1 to 10, is number 1, because it's the very first one. Let's take a look. It's very simple, very straightforward. We are told that 2 times x minus 3 equals 7. Now the question simply is, what's the value of x? They just want you to solve a simple linear equation. Let's do it, shall we? So 2 times x and then 2 times negative 3 will be negative 6 equals 7. Add 6 to both sides and we get 2x equals 13, and therefore x equals 13 over 2. Do not waste your time. Do not waste your time. Do not try to be cute by putting in 6.5. Nobody's going to give you extra credit for it. Just grade in 13 divided by 2. They give you enough room there. If you look at the sample sheet on the top there, they give you 4 spaces, and that's exactly just the way they grade in 7 over 12 on top of the page from the sample sheet. Just like that. Just grade in 1, 3, slash, and 2. Don't waste your time. Do you understand? Because this one is not, what I'm about to say doesn't apply here because we are dividing it by 2. Had it been 13 divided by 3, and if you simply grade in 13.3, they will mark it wrong. There are strict rules as to how you grade in decimals. So don't mess with them unless you have to. Do you understand? Actually, now that I think about it, 13.3 they will mark it right because it fills up all the spaces. Had it been 3 and a third, and if you just grade in as 3.3, that will be marked wrong because there is one more space here and you are expected to put another 3. And if you don't, they mark it wrong. You understand? So why mess with it? I don't want to go around memorizing those tedious rules. Just don't do it. Number 10. Point P lies on the line with the equation. So they give you an equation here. We are told that y minus 4 equals 4 times x minus 2. And we are told that point P lies on the line with this equation. If the x coordinate of P is 4, what's the y coordinate? Well, let's find out, shall we? All we have to do is plug in 4 for x here, and that will give us our y coordinate. Let's find out, shall we? 4 minus 2 is 2, 4 times 2 is 8, so it is y minus 4 equals 8, therefore y equals 12. Y equals 12, which is not what I'm getting here. What the hell did I do wrong? Did I misread it? I'm sorry. This is not 3 here. This is not 4, this is 3. Oh man, how careless of me, huh? How careless of me. As I always give you the sermon, you cannot afford to be careless on the easy question. You cannot afford to make careless mistake in the easy questions. You must get all the easy questions wrong. And here I am doing the exact same thing myself. Pay attention, okay? At least you learn something from it. Pay attention. You understand? Answer is 10. Because if you end up getting some weird answer in these questions, in the grading questions, because these are open-ended questions, there are no multiple choice answers to pick from. So if you end up getting some wacky answer, there is no way to tell that answer is wrong just because it doesn't match with anything that they give you. Because there's nothing to match. I thought my answer was right because I wasn't paying attention. Car A travels 60 miles. We are on next page, page number 952. Number 3. Car A travels 60 miles and average 20 miles per gallon. Alright. So car A went 60 miles and used at 20 miles per gallon. That was the consumption. If they are consuming 20 miles if they're consuming 1 gallon every 20 miles, that's what it means. 20 miles per gallon, which means each gallon gives them 20 miles of travel. That implies that the car must have consumed, must have used up 3 gallons. Let's see what they're asking. Don't read the entire problem in one shot. When you read the sentence, absorb it, understand it, comprehend it, analyze it before you go to the next sentence. Okay? If B traveled 15, okay, let's read carefully. If car, I don't want to make another mistake. If car B traveled 15 miles for each gallon of gasoline it used, if car B traveled 15 miles for each gallon of gas it used, so B uses 15 miles per gallon, not uses rather. Car B gives us 15 miles a gallon. That's the mileage of the car B. It's not as efficient. How many miles had car B traveled when it had used the same amount of gasoline as A had used to travel 60 miles? Well, A, as we know, used 3 gallons. And since B is giving us 15 miles per gallon, and we are told that B must use up the same amount of gasoline as the car A, it will just times 3, 45 miles. That's it. The answer is 45. Because it has only 3 gallons of gasoline in 3 gallons, because it's going only 15 miles per gallon, 15 times 3 is 45. In other words, it won't be able to go as far, obviously. Number 12. In number 12, they give us a picture here, something like this. 65 degrees we are told. This is 100 degrees. This is 120 degrees. And this we are told is x degrees. And what they're asking here is the value of x. Let's find out. Let's see what concept they're testing here. What they're trying to figure out here is if you know what the sum of the angles is in a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is a very fancy way of saying a four-sided picture, which is what we have here. We have four-sided picture. A to B is one side, B to C is another side, and C to D is another side. So let's draw a four-sided picture instead of messing with this thing. Let's draw a four-sided picture. Let's do it here. I'm going to draw a four-sided picture from here. Here we go. Here is our four-sided picture. There is my four-sided picture. What's going to be the sum of the angles in this four-sided picture, in this quadrilateral? What we have to understand here is that, don't go around memorizing formula, okay? Just understand it. What we have to understand is what a four-sided picture is. A four-sided picture, a quadrilateral, is nothing more than a marriage of two triangles. What is it? It's nothing more than a union of two triangles, right here. And what do we know about the sum of the angles in a triangle? We know any triangle consists of 180 degrees. And since a quadrilateral is made up of two triangles, sum of the angles in a quadrilateral is 180 times 2, right here. We're going to do it right here. We can break it up from B to D like this way, or we could have broken up from A to C like that way. It's up to us, just like here. We could have broken up like this. We could break it up like this, or we could have broken up like this. It doesn't change anything. The fact remains that it is made up of two triangles. That thing is made up of two triangles, therefore the sum of the angle in this picture is 180 times 2. 180 times 2 is 360. Well, if it's 360, we can very easily figure out this missing angle because we know all the other three. So here we have 65, then we have 100, then we have 120. Let's add them up. Looks like 285. All we have to do is subtract 285 from here, and that will give us our missing angle right here. And once we have this missing angle, we can figure out the x, because a straight line makes a 180 degrees. So x is just 180 minus angle D. I'm going to call it angle D. This is angle D. Whatever that angle D happens to be. Let's find out. So 10 minus 5 is 5, and 5 minus 8 would be 15, 7. That's it, it's 75. Looks like it is 75. Angle D is 75. Therefore, x is 180 minus 75. We know 180 minus 80 would have been exactly 100. Therefore, 180 minus 75, because it's 5 less, it's going to be 5 more, 105. X equals 105. And that's answer choice. Well, there is no answer choice, sorry. The answer is 105, okay? Let's go on to the next one, number 13. Problem number 13. We're done with this one. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do, I don't know what. It's up to you. There we go. I always give 5 seconds at the end of the problem because I do not know if I was blocking the blackboard all the time, and if you want to see the whole thing, I get out of the blackboard, out of the thing, and gives you 5 minutes, 5 seconds to actually pause the whole thing if you needed to. Number 13. The first term of the sequence is 20. Alright. The first term is 20. Each term, sorry, let me start again. The first term of the sequence is 20. Second term is 8. The third term, and each term thereafter. Now this is where things are going to get prickly, okay? Pay attention. The third term and each term thereafter is the average of the two terms immediately preceding it. Alright, so this third term that we see here, that we haven't written yet, is simply the average of these two. So it's 20 plus 8, which is 28 divided by 2, so it should be 14. Alright, so far so good. What are they asking for? What is the value of the first term in the sequence that is not an integer? Interesting. Value of the first term in the sequence that is not an integer. Let's find. So this was the first one. This was the second one. This was our first term. This is our second term. This was the third term. Let's find the fourth term here. The fourth term is going to be the average. It is going to be the average of the third term and the second term. So we take our third term, which is 14, plus the second term, which is 8. 14 plus 8, 14 plus 10 would have been 24, so it's going to be 22. Oh, there you go. We are done already. No, we are not quite done, are we? We are not quite done. So it's 22 divided by 2. 22 divided by 2 is 11. So that doesn't do the job. That's an integer. They're asking us the value. What's the value of the first term? Read carefully. What's the value of the first term in the sequence that is not an integer? So let's keep going. We have to go one more. We have to go one more. So this is our fourth term. Let's find the fifth term here. Well, I shouldn't say we have to go one more. We have to keep on going until we find something that is not an integer. I'm not going to write everything down. Now the next one, the fifth one, is going to be the average of the third one and the average of the fourth one. The third one is 14. The fourth one is 11. 14 plus 11 divided by 2. 14 plus 11 is 25. Oh, there you go. 25 divided by 2, because 25 is an odd number. An odd number cannot be divided by 2, which is why it's called odd number. And there you go. The question was, what's the value of the first term in the sequence that is not an integer? This is not an integer. All we have to do is find out its value. 25 divided by 2, 24 divided by 2 is 12, so it's 12 and a half. 12.5. The answer is 12.5. Let's go to the next one, number 14. I don't know why I keep picking up my cup here. It's empty actually. I forgot to fill it up before I started the video. So I'll give you 5 seconds again. We'll do the last one, number 14. There we go. If x is 1/5 of y, alright, x is 1/5 of y, which is same as say x is means equal, 1/5 of means times y. And y is 3/10 of z. y is 3/10 of z. Again, y is means equal, 3/10 of means multiply times z. Oh, what do you notice? What do you notice? First, they tell you that x is 1/5 of y, but then they go on to tell us that y itself equals 3/10 of z. So we can substitute 3/10 of z, we can substitute 3/10 of z right in here. There is your y. So let's do that. So x equals 1/5 times y, which is this guy right here, 3/10 of z. Let's see what they're looking for. The question is then x is what fraction of z? There you go, we're going to find x in terms of z. Aye, that's what I kind of figured they would ask. So that's it, we're done. 1 times 3 is 3, and the bottom we find 5 times 10 is 50. 50 times z. The question was x is what fraction of z? X is 3/50th of z. One more time, question was x is what fraction of z? X turns out to be 3/50th of z, as you can see here. 3/50th. So here you're going to grade in 3/50. Like I told you before, do not mess with it. Don't try to be clever. That's it. Just grade it in and get the hell out of there. I will see you tomorrow when we'll do the next page. Next page. Oh, next page is going to be interesting. Next page is going to be interesting. The last 4 grading questions in any exam are challenging. We'll do them tomorrow, okay? Bye now.